A pretty broad question in from Carl, who's watching on Facebook Live. How does John think England will do? Let's talk England. We've just been chatting about Gareth Southgate. Give us your thoughts on how it's gone so far and how it may go.
Yeah, I don't fancy them in the World Cup. I'd probably get out of the group, but I don't fancy them to do well. I think so far he's been a very, very good PR man. I think he's done a very good job with the press, because sometimes the press can be on people's backs, like Sterling and that. I think he's done a very good job there.
I mean that in a real, because sometimes people would say he does a good job in the PR point of view, and it can be a negative that they're putting things out there. But actually, you feel that
I think there's the press where most of the players, Alan Shearer's, Ian Wright's article, it's better than being criticised before they even go. But that's one element of it, Nathan. The second element is what's going to happen on the pitch. And I don't think he's actually done that very well, because he's gone from 3 at the back to 4 at the back, and the system. You know, the system, I keep hearing that the system, it's nothing to do with the system. It's getting your best players to play in the best position. It's a very easy tactic, as they say. And he's been doing the job for over 2 years now. And he should really, and coming into the recent times, has been 4 at the back and then 3 at the back. That should be, when you get the players that you know are the best. Actually, you play them as often as you can, Nathan, because now you've got to get them to play together. You've got to get them into the right habits and that. And that takes time. It takes time. I mean, I played with a very good Leeds, so I don't like to go back, very good, very well organised for 11 years under Don Revie. And we still weren't perfect. There was still things to learn, bit by bit. That's how a manager does his job. To put the right back right on that, the left back right on that, right? Then somebody else right on that. Now, that's how the team gets better. You do it individually. Like you talk about Guardiola, who made the players better during the year. And obviously then the team gets better. But I haven't seen that with Southgate. There's too many changes, too many systems, there's too many for the players to settle down.
So on somebody like Kyle Walker, who's excelled under Guardiola, playing as a right back, he's playing at the right of a back three, which I think he even admitted himself he's not particularly pleased about.
He didn't want to do it. He's learned his stuff all year with Guardiola. He's happy doing it, and he's become a better player under Guardiola. Now he's playing in a different position altogether with Southgate. So the things that he learned with Guardiola count for nothing. So that's why you've got to pick the best players in the best position in club football. Now there are occasions where you've got 3 really great centre backs and 2 full backs not so good. Then I can understand you're doing it from that. But if you've got Walker and you've got Delph, who are full backs and who have done well for Manchester City particularly, those players, in my opinion, for the last 6 matches, at least 6 matches, should have been playing together, because then you can put that right and you put that right. I think England are going in, and I think the first team to play has never played together before.
Yeah. Well, Delph hadn't even been in the squad for the last couple of seasons.
You know what I mean? They haven't played 6 matches. The last 6 matches they've gone into a World Cup. That team, not all of them, they're good, but start together.
Yeah.
You know, certainly start together. You get 60 minutes, and then the next day you put that. You should have done that, and you should have done that. That's how a team gets better. That hasn't happened, right? I think there's been a bit of PR stuff. Remember, he took the lads down for the commando training. When I see that, Nathan, it really doesn't like does it. That for 3 days, and it was to toughen them up and to respond when they come under pressure, like they did against Iceland. This has nothing to do with that. These are footballers. You teach them to play football. That's 3 days wasted, or 4 days wasted that they did in the commando training. They're not commandos, they're footballers. So you'll be training and you never get enough time with the players in international football to do what you want to do on the pitch. So I don't go with him on that. I don't think he's got a balanced team. I don't think he's got a midfield at all. If you've got Dyer and Henderson, for example, in there, I don't know who else he's going to put in midfield. Let's talk about Lingard, but Lingard is a forward. Yeah, and it's very, very difficult for a team to play well at this particular level without a midfield. Certainly a creative force in midfield. Henderson's not going to get on the ball. Dyer isn't ever going to get on the ball. And I don't know who else he has in there. Now, he didn't leave many out, because they don't have that many great midfield players playing in English midfield players playing in a very good, reasonable at the back, very good forwards. Yeah. I think Vardy's very good, Kane is very good, Dele Alli is good, Lingard, he's got Rashford. They're overloaded there. Not bad at the back, but midfield, I mean, how they're going to create anything with Dyer and Henderson in the middle of the field is impossible.
So you don't think then, just before we leave England, that maybe he's built this solid base of a back 3, wing backs, Dyer and Henderson, who just basically shut up shop for the entire game, and then you hope that a front 3 of Ali, Rashford, Kane, Sterling...
I know what you're saying, Nathan, but see, front 3, what happens in football, in my opinion, midfield players and the like the Modric and these guys, they're the ones who create everything. They're the ones who link it from back to front, right? Full-backs can't dictate a game, centre-backs can't dictate a game, centre-forwards can't dictate a game. The only way that any people that can take is the midfield players, because they can go wherever the ball is. Centre-forward has to stay up there, centre-half-back was there. Now, if you don't have somebody to knit the back from the front, then the likes of Harry Kane are dependent on supply. If they don't get a supply, they're not going to be able to play as well as they can play, right? And that's what actually happens. If you've got nobody in the middle of the field like Dyer and thing, you're saying they're at the best. I'm not saying you're saying it, most people say they're at the best when the opposition had the ball.
So Kane is brilliant because he has Dembele and Eriksen.
Yeah, he's got players like it, and actually Spurs could do it a bit more in midfield. Right. To be honest, they're a bit unbalanced. They're even better at the back than England, and they're just as good at the front as England is. But in between, that's where you get the inconsistency with Spurs. But for England don't have anybody.
Yeah,
they just don't have it. And I've never seen a team being successful, Nathan, without a creative force. That's what football's all about.